Okay, hi again. We're now going to continue on with this Let's Play for Ireland just a bit more. Last time we didn't actually get very far again. We just sorted out where we might be heading. We have fabricating claims in the Isle of Man at the moment. We decided to go for this bit here, particularly as there seems to be a war going on with Malcolm, the King of Scotland. We also have an alliance with the King of Scotland, which is quite handy. We might see if we can bung him possibly some money at some point. He might ask for quite a lot of money though. Oh, only 23. Just to up our his opinion of us, so he might help us. In the meantime, the video I think was moved on a few days from the end of the last one, simply because I forgot to hit pause before I saved it. The only thing that happened is this dirty bastard's wife's up the duff again. So I'm going to unpause it because I want the claims here to be fabricated. I did actually start making the next part and I got a fabricated claim here, and just as I got it the game crashed, which is quite annoying. So I'm probably now going to go on for years without getting one. So we have a peasant's revolt somewhere in Kildare coming up, so let's move our marshal over, assuming our revolt risk there is already, so we can go to Kildare. Damn, no we can't, because we have to wait till October, so we might have a bit of a problem coming up in Kildare. In the meantime, while I was just sort of letting the game fly forward, I was going to have a quick look at this, because this is something I don't quite get. You might remember that this was our heir. We have elective succession laws, and everyone was kind of going with this guy who's my heir. He's the one I've elected. You can see that's the king is the voter. However, the other two dukes, one of whom is in prison, and the Connell guy, the Duke of Connell, so the monster in the Connell, they've gone for my other son, and I was trying to work out why that was. Because if you look at, let's go back to me again. So here's the first guy. That's the guy I wanted, but they've gone for someone else. Now here's his next son here, and they haven't gone for him. Instead, they've gone for this guy here. Now I can't really see the difference here. Oh, there we go. Here's the peasants have revolted in as expected, because we couldn't get our marshal over there. Sort of. Let's go there. Oh, no, it's not good. 29. Alright, let's raise all levies. Come back here, sort of. So we're not actually going to get many levies here, are we? Let's put them all there first. What else do I own? Do I own that one? Oh yeah. So we may as well get all them. Move him up there as well. Remember, if you hold the shift key down, you can, as you click, you can set the path. If you just clicked for Dublin, he would have probably marched straight into Kildare and then been confronted and outnumbered by the rebels. So that's something that you've probably seen that anyway, because I think it was in the tips when the game's loading up during the 38 years it takes to load. Court chaplain who's had a bit of a mare. So once again, so I was trying to work out. We'll just get these together, put them all together. It's kind of balanced-ish. So now we'll march in, and hopefully they'll do the business. So in the meantime, go back to the succession laws. I don't know why they didn't go for. What's that? Oh yeah, levies raised too long. I don't know why they didn't go for this guy or this guy. I don't know what they've picked him for. Originally I thought it was because he wasn't married, and maybe they thought, well, if he becomes the king and he doesn't have any kids, then the succession planning will go somehow, they might be able to inherit. But other than that, I can't see why, unless it's just that they like his traits, because his traits are kind of, he's the other guy, isn't he? I mean, his traits are a bit better, or a lot better. He's got appalling traits. So he has, out of the 3 brothers, he's got the best traits, I guess. But we don't want cynical. But that was the only thing I could think of. It's all very strange, particularly as I think both of these earls. Let's go back. So we've had our daughter. That was quick. Anyway, sorry, the rebellion's over, so quickly disband those so we don't have to pay. As you can see, the Isles up here are having a nice little war. They seem to be marching anyway. Here to the county of Dublin. So sorry, yes, I'm flicking about again, I apologise. So you've got the 2 dukes. I suppose they don't like me that much. He's voting against me maybe because he doesn't like me, and he's not exactly in love with me, even though he's content. So, you know, I don't know if anyone has any ideas as to why they are favouring this guy as opposed to the other guy. Let me know. So here is our granddaughter. Again, if you can see, because we were her, she likes us, and because we were her guardian, we've got a plus 25 mentor bonus there. And it also says happy with upbringing. I'm not entirely sure how you can get that. I'm guessing that must have something to do with having the guardian as well. So anyway, she is good to be married. So we could try and marry her to someone who's got a claim, possibly. This is always where I start to lose my attention span goes, and I just end up marrying her to anyone. We've already got an alliance with the King of Scotland. Let's see if he's got any more sons who, if we can marry, just to keep the alliance going in case. About a betrothal. Where is she? I wonder if we could arrange. Oh no, we can't. No, we can't. Stop doing that, idiot. Apologies. Let's do this as a betrothal and see if we can get it done matrilineally when it actually comes to it. I bet we can't, but let's do that. I just want to keep an alliance going with Scotland somehow. I've decided to accept, so we've got the betrothal. So that's all very nice and grand. He wants to become court chaplain and he wants to become marshal, but none of them are good enough. Let's have a quick look at revolt risk again. Revolt risk is pretty normal in all these places, so we don't have to worry about that. It's always worth every so often going through and just rechecking what all of your councillors are doing. So, for instance, our Chancellor is down there fabricating claims. Scotland are going along with their war as well. So, Chancellor's fabricating claims. Dear. Yeah, this guy's doing loads of harm to our relationships, but that's fine. Fair enough. Our Marshal is doubling researching military tech. We don't really need him because we're not quite planning a war yet because we don't have anyone to fight. The Steward's collecting taxes, as you can see up there. Spy Master's trying to uncover plots, and the Court Chaplain is doing his best to screw up every relationship I have going because he's not very good. So we are kind of all set to sort of wait for claims. The only other thing I was thinking of doing was trying to claim one of these counties here, just to see if I could maybe increase my domain holding. Also, this guy's coming to sort of the end of his life. Well, possibly. I mean, they can live way longer. If I claim a title, I'm going to get a bit of a hit, opinion-wise, but that will die with him. So I'm kind of thinking this might be the time to try and take on one of these guys and see if I can get them to rebel. The idea is to try and get them to... What's this guy? Local revolt. Yeah, the idea would be to try and get them to rebel against me so that I can take a county off them without suffering the 20 hit, which, as I've said in a previous video, I don't really read. So our grandson has had a kid as well. I mean, it's all very... I think our dynasty's not doing so badly. There's our son, there's our grandson, and there's... So, you know, we've got a great granddaughter. Right, let's have a quick look at this. Betrothed can marry. Let's see if you can change it. So you see here, you can actually change it to matrilineal. I was doing that to see if I can get any claims, but funnily enough, they're not going to do that because the prince is high in succession. But let's go with it anyway. It means the Scottish guy probably gets claims on some of our things. Oh, finally, our court chaplain has actually decided that he's not a complete numpty, and he can actually improve relations. So yeah, so that's being married. So they've got married. We now have, I mean, we have a double alliance, which doesn't really help. But let's have a quick look at what's going on up here, because independent kingdoms, it looks like it's all gone off again. This guy here, the Duke of Moray, has broken away from. Yeah, he's broken away from Scotland. Scots are actually having a bit of a war with, yeah, the Scots are in battle with them and with them. I'm surprised he hasn't called us in with his alliance, but that's fine. So the issue now is whether we, I'm trying to think whether, with this one, it could be that he's actually broken away. The problem, therefore, if we try and attack him, if we were to try and get some casus belli to attack him, it would only last as long as his war with Scotland lasts. So at the moment we have, these are just some of these notifications of when your technology gets to the next level. It's not too interesting. There's left your court for the Kingdom of Iron. So and he wants to become marshal. So at the moment we're kind of in a holding pattern, waiting for this guy to fabricate some claims. If not, we'll have a squiz down to see if there's people who we can invite over for claims, but there might not be. So the next thing to look at then is the holdings, because as you see we've got a fair amount of gold up there, 487. We could do with getting these relationships up, or we could do with the Pope dying, because then we'll get more income, because at the moment our income, as you see, we're getting 33 from the domain, we're getting 26 from the cities, which is good, but we're only getting 4 from the attack from the churches. That's because there's only one of our bishops likes us more, I think, which is him, so he's paying us, but the others aren't, so that's a bit annoying. But either way, we've got 427. Now I like to build up gold simply because when push comes to shove, if you miscalculate, it's useful to have, at least at this stage I think it's useful to have at least 200, so you can hire some mercs and keep them for a few months, because they're very pricey, as you know. Hiring the mercs, the lowest one, it's going to cost you 75 and it's going to cost you 6 a month. So I'd like to have at least 200, but in the meantime, no, not that one. You do the direct vassals one. Right, the dark areas are us. These are the ones that we own and control. 5. So now it's time to start looking at building up, investing money. Now this is the one thing I reckon maybe some people just ignore, but it's key. The way to win this game ultimately, particularly if you're an island, not win the game because there is no winning, but the only way you're ever going to be able to take on England, for instance, over on the right there, is if you can get your levies up. And it is possible, despite being a tiny little island, with all of these investments, you can get some serious levies just from having your own domain size there. I mean, you know, as you get stewardship up, but you can, when you really get these things invested in and built. I'll come back to that shortly, because our air has changed back to the original. So we'll have a quick look at that. But anyway, what I want to do is invest some money into building now, and the ones I really want, although tax income is good, it's always good, we want tax income and levy size are the ones we're looking for. It's probably at this point I'm going to go with the castle village because it's tax income. So I'm going to invest in that castle village, which is 100, and then I'm going to probably cough up another 100 in another one. Now, what we really want to do is at some point I want to get hold of this county probably, because the key thing to do, and this is something that was put on the forums, and I totally agree as I've played other games, is your domain size. Although you can get it up to maybe, with really good stewardship, you can probably get up to 13 or 14 as a size for the domain. You want to pick early on a set of counties that you own, which are in a cluster together, and then you want to start upgrading them, but always in that cluster. So, for instance, if this guy rebels and we get this county off him, well, it might be that we might decide that actually that's not close enough for the cluster. In other words, we might keep it, but we won't invest in it. All these are close enough for me. That's a nice little grouping. There's a traitor. Let's have a quick look at these opinions. Yes. I'm going to say it's nonsense. But anyway, as I was saying, you've got all of these the counties in your own domain, and what you want to do is keep hold of them. At some point we want to do this ossuary, but now if you remember last time, actually, it was the wrong holding type, but now the right holding type is, it seems to have, or was that almond? Oh yeah, that was almond, I think was the wrong. No, maybe it wasn't. We'll come back to that. I do seem to be talking a lot of bollocks at the moment, I apologise. Anyway, as you see up here, I've got on the thing, we've started building a castle village, and this is one of the aims going forward now. Keep enough money in the bank for when you get an opportunity to attack, but other than that, start building up these holdings in your what you consider to be your permanent domain going forward, because once you get these upgrades, particularly on levies and things like that, although at the moment our levy size is 228, but you could end up with technology and with building getting that up to sort of 2,000, and that can be huge, particularly as the AI won't always do the same. Our grandson is knocking these children out. So we've upped Kildare, sorry, we've upped Dublin, and now I'm going to do the same with the castle village there. So this is basically, I'm going to, for the hell of it, even though I might regret it, do the castle village there. So basically we've got 3 buildings castle villages being built. Right, let's have a quick look at this. I've paused it briefly. Because I've been ignoring that and banging on, as you know. So there's a plot here. Intrigues, known plots. Now they want to kill. Well, that's right. Let's go back one stage. As you remember, this changed. This is all changed now. As we see up here, successor nomination. Duke, whatever, now wanted our nephew. Alright, so the Duke of Munster, who's in prison, decided to choose him as the new successor, which meant it was now 1-1. That put the heir back to him. And one of the things I wanted to look at in here was which one should we actually have. And if you look at his traits, well, they're rubbish, aren't they? Although he's got a good wife. Whereas if you look at his traits, well, they're a bit better, and he's got a decent wife, and she's pregnant as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to now nominate him. I don't want him anymore. I'm going to go with him, I think. Let's just make sure Dom Claddy. It's Dom Claddy. Right. So there you go. So he's the new heir now. I've decided we will go with him. In the meantime, you have these plots here. Now this is quite useful because I don't know why. Well, he's trying to kill him because he's been made the Duke of Munster has made him his preferred heir. So they tried to then kill him. she is married to the Duke of Munster. So that's where those plots are coming from. They're both trying to kill what were, or whom were, the heir, probably because they want this guy to be the guy, the man. So it's very useful though here, hopefully, because what we're going to do is there's some backers here with these guys, so I'm going to tell them to stop backing the plot. Now what sometimes happens is that they will get an uplift in their opinion of us, so we'll do it on both of them, not that we need him. Let's do stop backing his plot, let's unpause the game. As you can see, we now so we've had a daughter now, so we do have an heir, but that's not great. But this guy here, we can imprison him, but I think we should just tell him to... Let's have a quick look at this. Sorry, I'm flicking around again. Right, if you look, this guy's opinion of us has gone up, massively up, because he is... opinion of Murchad is that he's discovered backing a plot. Now, is he one of our... I think he's... So there you go, look, his opinion has now massively gone up, which means we're now going to get tax income off him. And this guy here, his opinion's gone up as well, because he's been caught backing a plot, which hopefully means... Which one was he? Bishop Fergal. Yeah, his opinion's now gone up, so that will increase our income, so that's good. Therefore then we just go to this bloke and tell him to end his plot. I've no interest in doing the whole imprisoning him at the moment. And while we're at that, we'll do the same thing with the other plot has ended now. Let's have a look at these prisoners. Now this guy here is he's just there you go. So now what I want to do is release one of these two. I don't really want to release him because he's a duke, but this other guy doesn't have anything, so I'm going to release him from prison. And the reason I'm going to do that is it gives me an up with all of my vassals. I think should do release prisoner plus 10, so that's kind of, you know, handy if you want levies. Duke Ranieri now favours... Yeah, they're all going for that nephew, aren't they? That's a bit worrying. See, Murchad... See, the Munster guy is willing to go with us, but... Why are they going for him? I'm kind of interested as to why, given that he's depressed. He's our nephew, which makes him what, our brother's kid, I guess. Is that right? That must be our brother, so that's our brother's kid. No idea why they're particularly favouring him, I have to say. I'd be grateful for any tips from anybody, but as you can see then, therefore, as I've banged on a lot before, the laws are kind of annoying. Not annoying, the elective laws are quite dangerous because I have no control. I'm lacking control, really, when I have these dukes around. Of course, the way around that would be just to revoke the last duke title, and I might have to think about doing that, but I take hits. So this is our daughter. I'm going to get someone else to educate her because she's so far removed from me now, as in from the line of succession, that I don't need to be too concerned with the trait. So I'm going to see if the Bishop of Kellis will do it, just because I get a 20 opinion uplift with him. As you see, the monthly balance, if you remember before, was about 4. It's now gone up to 6, and that's because I've got all this church income coming in now. Right, this guy wants a fiefdom of his own. I'm not willing to give anything out at the moment. I've just told him he's not ready. Let's get rid of some of these messages then. So there's the prisoner we got rid of. There's the new heir. Now why was he banished? Duke of Flanders. That's interesting. Earl of Tyrone's lands. No idea why he was banished. We have a new heir, blah blah blah. He wants to be Chancellor in his dreams because he's an idiot. He wants to gain a title. That's him. That's the exile. They want to be spy master. They want to be court chaplain. So Again, I must apologise really, there's not much happening in this apart from we're building stuff which will get our tax income up. We do have better tax income going on. We're waiting for claims to be fabricated. As you can see, we saw a few minutes ago that there was a rebellion going on with this guy. Well, he clearly lost that and he's now in prison. Scotland is back together. The but the Isles are still where they are, I think. They have another truce with Scotland, doesn't seem to hold. So really I'm just in a bit of a holding pattern here, waiting for a claim to be fabricated or to see whether maybe I can get a invite someone over. I mean, let's have a quick look. Let's have a look at the Isles, see if I can get anyone over. They're all kind of saying no. Now what we could try and do, I wonder if he thinks he's a better called chaplain. 1916. Who is he? He is a better called chaplain, it has to be said. And this guy is a feckwit, as we've known. So he's nothing particularly. He's cruel. He's got a lisp. Okay, we'll make him. Well, let's make him a cool chaplain. Why not? For the hell of it. The other guy won't like us as much. So let's have a quick look. Yeah, he's the one I think we've just booted out. So let's send him over to this guy in Leinster to improve relationships. I guess it's a bit circular as to why I did that, but that's yeah. Might as well have him there for the moment. Everything else is kind of normal. Now, this woman, she seeks to kill. Look at this guy. Sorry for the flicking, I'm just trying to work out why she's trying to kill this guy. This is the bit sometimes that I don't. It's probably obvious. Is that her husband? Claim on Tyrone. No idea why she's doing that, and I don't care. You get on with it, love. So we've got a castle village has been built in somewhere. So you can see that the income's gone up. So the first thing I'm going to also do here now is I'm going to move my steward. If we take our steward away and look at the income without the steward, you can now see that Dublin is the one that's got more income. So that's the one you should aim your steward at. Stick him over there because he gives you the uplift for your tax income there. So again, this is why, again, I'd always go tax income first, the way I would do this, just before we finish this section, because again, I'm sorry, nothing's really happened, but I would, as I said before, I would keep all your, start upgrading these areas. I would do tax income first, just because, you know, it's like a good investment, because you will get more and more tax income there for each turn. That will then snowball, and then you can start going for the levy sizes. And there's, for the first few levels of the levy sizes, you can get a good uplift, and it's definitely worth doing. Which is why sometimes I've seen on the forums people have described that the way they play the game is in stages, where they might have a 10-year period or a 20-year period where they will go around fighting and provoking rebellions, grabbing land, blah blah blah. Then they might have a 20-year period where they basically do nothing apart from consolidate their holdings and spend money upgrading them, which is kind of where we are now. Now we're being forced to do that really because we don't have anywhere to go claim wise, but in the next Let's Play we'll have a quick look to see whether there's any way we can get some claims. There were some people who wanted marriages. I'm wondering whether we could marry someone off to one of these people, and that means they'll be in our court and we can press that claim. So anyway, so we've got some military. So siege equipment has gone up by 1, so that was very fascinating. The other 2 castle villages have now been built. So again, so we're now at 665 income, which is good. You can see it's that number that's racking up there, which again is all just those numbers as well. There. Okay, yeah, they're going. So the king now doesn't feel well. Please kill me. So he gains the ill trait. So we'll see what happens when you get that. You just get a few things down. His fertility is down. Don't think that's going to stop him somehow. Anyway, that's kind of it, I guess, because we're at the half an hour again. Another daughter has been born to. Is he our heir? He's not our heir, is he? He just looks different now. So he's knocking the kids out. It's not ideal because he's having daughters, but anyway, that's fine. I'm going to leave it here, so apologise again. Nothing much has really happened. In fact, in half an hour, nothing's happened at all, is it? We're still fabricating the claims, but we're in this holding pattern at the moment of building stuff and waiting for claims to come about. Hopefully something might happen in the next one, so I will carry on shortly.